What's going on, guys? It's your boy Trolltek here for another video. So today we are getting into the Untamed episodes 27 and 28. So yeah, I'm gonna return to the 2-episode format. Everyone's like, fucking this can't make a decision. One episode, it's like, it's honestly, it's the ideal way to do it, but like it takes too fucking long. Like it's just like, it takes too long to watch the show. So what I'm going to do instead, we'll do 2 episodes. Then I'm going to end the reaction. Then I'm going to write my notes, right, for the video. And then do a discussion section of the video. And then just fucking stitch it together, chuck it on. That way, I can still like react to the thing, get it out, and then also give it the discussion and analysis that it requires at the same time, right? So, yeah, so that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be doing episodes 27, 28, end the video, then I'm going to write my notes, do the discussion, come back, stitch it together, and then you get it as a full video. We're going to try that, see how that works. I might change again, but for now, I felt like that was a good idea, so I want to try it. But yeah, I think we officially, no, we're not yet. We're off. So after this video, we have 2 episodes before we hit the halfway point on episode 25. What am I thinking? I don't know why in my brain there was 60 episodes. It's 50 episodes. We passed the halfway point a while ago. It was episode 25 where we passed the halfway point. So yeah, I think we are approaching the end of the flashback slowly. I believe the flashback ends episode 34. I believe. I'm not sure about that. It could be episode 35. Episode 34, I think the flashback ends. So we are slowly approaching the end of that. So all the stuff that needs to happen is got to happen. Like, Zishuan and Yanli need to die. Well, they need to first have a son. They need to get married, have a son. They need to die. Because we know their son's an orphan. Jiangcheng and Wuxian need to become enemies, which is slowly already happening with the jealousy arc that Jiangcheng's going through. And Wuxian's, you know, dark path. Wuxian needs to be acknowledged as like the villain of the world still, which hasn't happened yet. He needs to become the Yearling Patriarch, whatever that means. We still don't know what that means. So there's a lot of things that need to happen in the next, what is it? 8 episodes? 6, 7? Sorry. The next 7 episodes, I guess. Is it? Wait, we've got 27, 28, 29, 30. That's 4 episodes. And then we've got another, yeah, 8 episodes. We have time for all of those things to take place. But I'm curious to see how this all plays out. So without further ado, episodes 27 and 28 today. Oh yeah, it was breakup arc round 2 where we left off. Oh my god, they actually look so young here, even though it's probably a couple of days filming after, but I don't know, even their hairstyle, they look so young and innocent here. This was during the lessons, right? At the cloud recesses. He's like, even if it means I'm the villain, I will never stray from the path of justice, as I understand it. I think that's a big, like, theme in the Untamed, is like, the right thing. There's no, like, universal right thing. Whatever is the right thing, as I understand it, that's the path I'm going to be walking. And that's all Wuxian's things. Like, whether he's right or wrong or whatever, you could potentially have some discussion about that. But Wuxian is his whole idea is not that I'm the only one doing the right thing, but his idea is I'm doing the right thing as I understand the right thing to be, which is a big theme, I think. So based on what people were saying in the comments, so Wenning is dead, but he's like a zombie, right? Like that's the actual, like that's what's happening in the actual story, but because of censorship issues that they kind of just like explain. Like honestly, the censorship thing, okay, yeah, I get it, but it's like the storytelling wise, it just convoluted so much things that didn't need to be convoluted, because it's like I think they did well with kind of, you know, navigating around censorship, and not even censorship with the gay shit. Like obviously, okay, that's another thing, but that's kind of that's easy to deal with. But like the plot things, like the fact that Wu Xian was took like possessed Mo Xuangyu's body, like for example, that plot line was a bit like convoluted, because it's like, okay, what's actually going on there? This whole plot line with Wen Ning, you know, the fact that he's dead but has been, you know, reincarnated, like it just makes it more convoluted than it needs to be. Like, well, obviously you can't blame the directors and the showrunners and producers and shit. It's just, it's from the government side, so I get it. But it makes it so much more convoluted than it needs to be on certain plot points. But in my head, Wen Ning is dead and he's been resurrected by Wu Xian. That's just how I'm understanding it. I think what I was saying in the last episode is kind of slowly coming into effect, where I was basically saying Wu Xian is going to feel a duty to the remaining Wen clan remnants and take them in. Even more, the fact that he failed to save Wen Ning, I think he feels a sense of obligation towards him now. And I think that's going to lead to him taking in the remnants of the Wen clan as his, like, people, as it were. Like, he's already taken them in, but yeah. Why do the gays always have to kill each other? This really is a breakup scene. My boy is heartbroken. I think there's like a couple of layers of fucking, this seat just keeps sinking down. I think there's a couple of layers going on here with Wang Ji, right? Obviously sad about this whole breakup arc, as it were. Like, that's the joke side of things. But I think there's another layer to it. I think there's also like a anger towards himself. He's like, Wang Ji, why are you like this? Why can't you just be by his side and fuck all the rules and what's expected of you and all this shit? I think there's also an anger towards himself in that he can't break out of that shell still. Which I think in the future, the regrets of that seem to have like bared down on him a lot, because you can see from the small glimpse we got of Wang Ji in the future, he seems very like depressed, I guess. Not that the bro has been like he's ever been a sunshine, you know, but like he seems much more, I don't know, there's this like darkness around him. So I feel like that's what's going on with him. This is really their breakup arc. This is their real, true breakup arc. Oh, is this the barrel mounts? Is he taking them to the barrel mounts? Are we gonna get some backstory of what happened there? Finally? So, okay, so I was right. There is like children with these guys that were in concentration camps. So yeah, the main clans are straight up the villains of the story. Well, the Jin clan, but the main... What's the saying? All it takes for evil to thrive is for good men to blind their eyes, right? Or to do nothing. So like even the main clans, like turning their gaze from what the Jin clan are doing, I don't care. They're just as bad, and they are just as what's the word I'm looking for? They're like accomplices to this cruelty. Even the most beloved characters, whether it's the Ni clan or the or Wang Ji's big bro or anyone else, they're all accomplices to this because they know what's going on. They're not dumb. They're not dumb. They know what the Jin clan's doing. It's open for everyone to see. It's not like it's hidden and no one knows what's going on. To be fair, what was happening at that camp with Wu Xian in the last episode, no one knows about that. But they generally know what the Jin clan are doing to these Wen clan people. So they're all to blame. Well, you got nowhere else to go, I guess. Well, I guess he's made a deal with the spirits here, right? That's how he's using the flute. Wait, is this why it's called the Yiling Patriarch? Because isn't the burial mound in Yiling? I'm pretty sure it is. And I guess he's going to create his kingdom, as it were, within the burial mounds, it seems. Oh, they're talking shit about the lands? Oh, because Unk came down from his mountain. Oh, what's going on? Oh, the what happened at the camp? Oh, okay. So he's straight up. Yeah, they're straight up saying he is the villain. Yeah, that's see the point I'm making. Like the evil, they're all accomplices to it. It's not just the Jin clan. Yeah, but you can't paint. You can't paint an entire fucking organization with one brush, right? Like that's crazy work. Yeah, they're just healers. Hostages, bro. They were hostages, basically. Okay, so a baby born from the Wen clan after, like, let's say a baby's born during the Sunshot campaign. Do you blame that baby? Do you kill the baby? Cut the baby's head off? Like where does the line end? I mean, like, as much as I don't want to agree with what he's saying, like, he's not wrong per se. Like, Wu Xian is constantly, like, if Jiang Cheng does something, good or bad, right or wrong, that doesn't matter. When he does something, Wu Xian completely does the opposite in front of everyone. Like, it is gonna raise questions of like, what the fuck, is he your subordinate or what? Well, like, what's going on here? Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying Wu Xian's wrong by doing that. I'm just saying, like, he is not. It's not an invalid thing to say what he's saying. Like, he obviously his intentions aren't good at all, but like, he's not wrong also. You know the worst part? None of these guys would say this to Wu Xian's face. Bro, Wang Ji is about to crash out. Honestly, Jin Clan leader is so smart because he's going about this. He's like, look, don't go too far, guys, but let's just have a conversation about it. Like, he's acting like the reasonable party, so no one can be like, oh, you're a fucking reaching snake-like scumbag, right? No one can say that because he's kind of talking like the reasonable party, but he's also like creating suspicion among the clan leaders as well. He's good at the game, I'll tell you that much. Wait, when did he say that? When the fuck did he say that? Oh yeah, Wang Ji. Let's go. Go, speak now, because then you are gonna cause an enemy in the Lan clan. You scumbag. I feel like Clan leader's gonna I feel like Clan leader's just gonna defend Wuxian just because Guan Yuyao spoke against him. I was wondering if they were gonna say anything about Wang Ji being there. Yeah, exactly. You were at war and he was only killing soldiers and enemies. Well, okay, if we use that logic, no one saw Wuxian personally kill them either. So how can you make that argument and then make that argument? Like, that, it doesn't work. You either can judge based on what you didn't see, or you can't. But you can't judge only on one party. Oh, she's like, fuck this clan. Okay, respect. Like, this young servant girl has more balls than everyone in that room. Zichuan, are you gonna finally fucking do something with your life for once in your life? Fucking hell, bro. He's got all this venom and fucking brutality for when he gets jealous of Yanli, but when it comes to actually standing against his dumb cunt father or anyone in his clan, he's a little fucking puppy. No. Even Wang Ji's like, fuck you guys. Oh shit. Are we gonna get conflict between Big Bro and Wang Ji? Not conflict, but like a splinter in their relationship. Because we didn't see Big Bro in the future either, so. Or in the present? I don't know. I mean, it is a valid reasoning, but it's bullshit. But, so we're not going to talk about the fact that if it wasn't for Wuxian, there's no way the Jiang clan could have been repaired. Like, we're not going to talk about that. Like, realistically, if it wasn't for Wuxian, I don't even think they would have won the war, to be honest. Like, because Wuxian dealt with Wen Chao. He created the situation for when, what was him, Zhu Liao, I think his name was, for him to be defeated. He created the situation to cancel out all the demon soldier things, and which led to the death of the Wen clan leader. Like, he did, basically, without Wuxian, even if he wasn't directly involved, without him creating certain situations, there was no way that these guys were going to defeat the Wen clan, like generals, as it were. So we're not going to talk about the fact that without Wuxian, the Jiang clan was done for. Like, that would have just been a footnote in history. Man, Jin Clan leader knows exactly where to like pick at with Jiang Cheng to create a division between him and Wu Xian. Man, Guan Yao is such a scumbag. Oh my god. You are your father's son, Guan Yao. And these two idiots fucking blinded Guan Yao's true face, man. I swear. They stress me out. Oh. Is she gonna go join Wu Xian? He's like, I respect it. Even if I don't agree with it, I respect it. I mean, he did. That's not like manipulation. Like he did do that, to be fair. He didn't do it out of some ambitious reason, but he did do that. Actually, we didn't really see what happened. It didn't show Wu Xian doing that. It just showed like they found his body and then the scene cut and then we see he appears as the ghost general, right? So we didn't really see Wu Xian do that. So maybe he didn't. I don't know. He's like, I got my eye on you. At least he has a healthy distrust of him, not like big bro who's blind as a fucking bat. He's like, nah, I'm good on that. I'm good on that. Wang Ji's like, it's like going in one ear, going out the other. Okay, interesting. Something about his dad, his mum. Were they rule breakers as well? Did his father like go dark or something? Like what? Like the way they're talking about it, it's like his father became Darth Vader or some shit. Like we don't know anything about their parents, to be honest. Oh, okay, Zishuan finally taking your head out of your ass. At least on this topic. If he could open his eyes to his fucking father's bullshit, that would be great as well, but... And I feel like he's not worried enough about Guan Yao as well. Like, if I'm in Zishuan... If I'm in Zishuan's position, right? If I'm in Zishuan's position and my bastard brother is elevated to being a Jin, right? Even if he's not in the like running to become the next leader, it doesn't matter. If I'm in that position, I'm definitely thinking about it. I'm like, oh shit, I gotta be careful about this now. I don't think his dad would ever name Guan Yao his heir, but like just the risk of it, the opportunity of it is there. I think Jiang Cheng is gonna accept their marriage the next time the clan leader tries to push that issue, the Jin clan leader. Did bro like sense them getting closer or something? What the fuck? Was that Wen Ning covered in talismans? Meanwhile, the rest of the world calling him a demon lord. So he's probably an orphan, I guess, from the war.
好啊，那你可不要动啊。
来得及洗呢，新的衣服又被你给弄脏了。他明天穿什么呀？他的衣服你今天都洗干净。
洗衣服那是别人做的事，我贵公子怎么能染指啊？
Man, they look like siblings so much, these two. They even act like siblings.
好说好说好说。
宗主，您只身上山，只怕会有危险。
Can't these motherfuckers like walk in the sky? Why do they have horses still? Like there was a scene where they were literally flying through the wind. Oh wow. That's a major talisman. It does go to show that Jiang Cheng, like, as bratty as he is one of the top tier cultivators.
种土豆，
种萝卜。
萝卜难吃，种土豆。
Oh, yeah, okay, so he, like, the worry that he had that the Jin clan leader said that, oh, he's forming his own clan. That's why he's trying to grow independent from you.
不行，土豆。
Oh yeah, I forgot. I always forget he used to have a crush on her.
你来说说，看着我干什么？干活干活。
Yeah. Even the way he's talking to him is like, oh, you're the clan leader.
看不出来吗？
You're trying to be clan leader.
那能吃吗？
相信我，人饿到极限的时候
They'll eat anything. Yeah.
还真打算在这里长期驻扎。
That's it's almost like there's this undertone of like, that's something you've never understood. The hunger of the less fortunate.
有地方人能待。
来，过来。
去婆婆那儿啊。
快来。
哎，跑慢一点。
Like, Jiangqing, how do you see a child and think there's something nefarious happening here? Instead of, you know, your brother just protecting the innocent.
原来是一帮老弱妇孺，歪瓜裂枣。
什么歪瓜裂枣啊？
That's why that's where he just falls short. I think that's the one thing his father just could not teach him. That's the point of being a clan leader. Right? Those people are the point. The quote-unquote useless, the innocent, the children, the elder. Like, that's the point. That's why clan leaders are there in the first place. To provide a place of safety for those people.
有些人当做稀释的活靶子，来吸引邪祟。我们找到他的时候，他已经邪祟侵身，心脉已断。
Okay, so Wu Xian didn't do it. Fair enough.
想用阴虎符的力量，借温宁的手惩戒一下金氏而已。
Oh, he did, but it was accidental.
变成了傀儡。失去心神之后，将他心底的那些痛苦、愤怒、焦躁、不安
Exploded and took control of him. Yeah.
那现在呢？
江城，你也怀疑我拿了那枚阴铁？
Honestly, the thing I've noticed about Wu Xian is that, like, once someone starts suspecting him, that's when he takes on, like, the facade of, I am an asshole. I am a villain. I am who you think I, like, he kind of becomes crueler when someone suspects him or or he thinks someone's suspecting him or blaming him or saying, you know, is everyone right about you? He becomes crueler, which is fascinating to me. It's almost like a defense mechanism. Okay, let's go on to the next episode.
你干什么？干什么？我还要问你干什么？魏无羡，你这段时间很是威风啊！
你们干什么？
It's just, honestly, all of this is from his insecurities of like, Wu Xian can't be better than me. You know, he's not allowed to be better than me. Or what he expects, right? Because I think Jiang Cheng's biggest issue, it's not anything Wu Xian does, right? It's what he thinks Wu Xian is thinking. In his head, he's probably thinking Wu Xian thinks, oh, this guy is so pathetic. I would never follow him. Or he's nothing, right? That's probably what he thinks Wu Xian's thinking about him. And that's why he gets so like fucking insecure and angry about everything Wu Xian does. It's really just all in his head. And I think a large reason of it is because of the way his mum constantly talked about like him and Wu Xian in relation to one another.
一堆世家围着我一通轰，都想找我讨个说法，所以我只好来了。
讨什么说法？
Why do you feel like they deserve an account from you? You're the clan leader, brother. Why are you answering to external clans in the first place? You know? I know he's inexperienced and that's why, but instead of being mad at Wu Xian, he needs to look at himself and be like, what am I doing right now? I'm basically creating a precedent that my clan is beholden to what the other clans think of me and my clan.
莲花坞里的骨灰是谁送回来的？我们被温潮追杀的时候，是谁收留我们的？魏无羡，我真想活活抽死你！
I mean, he's speaking facts, so like, if it wasn't for these two like the Wen siblings, like half of the thing that they did would not be possible.
在四大家族面前，你是怪杰，是奇侠。
A geek? That must be a translation thing.
可只要你和他们发出不同的声音，你就是丧心病狂，罔顾人伦，邪魔外道。
Well, at least he's smart enough to realize, like, that they are not, they're not anything to put your trust in. Like, at least he realizes that, like, once you're against them, they'll use anything to slander you. Fucking, they're both as stubborn as one another as well. But it's like, what does Jiang Cheng expect him to do? Even if he lives through this, hands them in and stuff. How's Wu Xian gonna live with himself, right? Because his whole thing was like, don't ever let me stray from the path of justice. So if he strays from the path of justice, as it were, it's like, okay, I'm alive, so what? What now? How am I gonna live with myself every day? Oh, they're officially enemies, at least in the eyes of the land. I still would have done it. Yeah. It's about the fact that innocent people are being subjected to annihilation, to extinction, brother. That's the issue. It's not about fucking Wen Ning or Wen Qing or Wen Ding or Wen Xing. Like, you know, it's not about any Wen in particular. It's about the fact innocent people are getting extinct. I do understand Jiang Cheng as well. He just wants to protect his family, in a way. Yeah, it basically goes into my point from before. Like, the reason they're becoming enemies is not because they actually are angry at each other, though they are. But it's just the manipulations of the other clans. That's the reason. Like, they've got no choice but to stand on opposing sides. Though, to be fair, Wang Ji and Wu Xian also have no choice to stand on opposing sides, but I guess at least Wang Ji doesn't have the weight of a clan on his shoulders, so there is like, it is a different thing, but yeah.
不在，下山？我们能下山吗？等过些日子吧，风头过了再说。
We know the Wen clan gets fully wiped out though, right, in the future. So like the thing is, are these guys all gonna die?
婆婆说这个甜你吃。
Well, I feel like, why do I feel like this kid's gonna be an important character in the future? Because they're just setting up too much around him. Though they might be setting up so that like if he gets killed, Wu Xian really becomes a cruel motherfucker. Maybe that's why, but I don't know. We'll see.
只要安妮还在我身边，我就知足了。
Right, if Wu Xian goes, you guys are done within a week. Like, that's the fact of the matter. It's only the fear of Wu Xian that's really holding the clans back, if you think about it. From just coming, although they are scared of the Barrelmans as well, but reality is they're scared of Wu Xian, and he's all that's holding them back from just slaughtering the rest of the Wens.
现在这里，
我说过，我会将温宁恢复成正常人。 我一定会做到的。
He's like, I keep my promises no matter how the problems around them. Like, that's been a character trait since episode 1, which is what's been like fucking his mental space up so hard, is the fact that he keeps his promises no matter what. Oh, he still has it. Fucking. Wait, didn't he give it to her? Did she give it back or something? Because I remember he gave it to her in the pub, right? A while ago. Oh, that's why she was looking at him like kind of tearfully in the last scene.
当初，如果我在兰陵城先遇见的人是你，你会义无反顾地带我去救阿宁吗？
She's like, I know your natures, both brothers. He's like, he's gonna take that as an insult, like you're weaker than Wu Xian. Well, he is. That's the fact of the matter. But come on, Wenning, you gotta wake up, bro. We need another soldier in this fucking burial mounds. Cause like Wu Xian made it obvious that yeah, he can do all this magic shit, but in reality, if there was a real fight to drop out, that's not the way. If there was a real fight to start, he's gonna probably get dog walked, because we saw how Jiang Cheng just kind of overpowered him within 2 seconds. So if some real cultivators came, they're fucked. That's why we need Wenning ASAP. I don't know if I've said this before, but you know Wu Xian's character design reminds me of? He reminds me of Zhou Yu from Dynasty Warriors, if anyone's played the Dynasty Warriors game. Who's that? Oh, is that Xu Yang? No. I was going to say, I was like, what do you mean over Xu Yang? It's, oh, they're going to have a punch on. Are they actually going to fight? Like, how the fuck is Wu Xian even going to stand up to him? Okay, he's still got some fucking crazy moves, though. Oh, that was clean. That was clean. That's a clean shot. Fucking Valley of the End type shit. Don't mind me, just passing by. But it goes to show how, like, at a disadvantage Wuxian is without his golden core. And he still was and managed to kind of be on even ground with a cultivator. With their golden core. That shows how dangerous this motherfucker is. Like Wuxian. Oh, it's a game to convince the other clans that they're enemies. I think it was like, it was halfway a game, but I think they were also really angry at each other. So kind of like, it was convincing. I wonder if he's going to tell Big Sis the truth of like what actually happened. Like, because everyone thinks they're enemies now, but obviously that's not the reality of the situation. They are angry at each other, but they don't want to kill each other. Honestly, she's the one that's always the most damaged by her brother's temperamental relationship. Like, she just wants everyone to get along, and they're just always like at each other's throats. Oh, here we go. I think they're setting the stepping stones for their marriage.
这里面我还买了肉，你先做，晚上给大家开个会。喂，
Yeah, there it is.
男女授受不亲呢。
Shut the fuck up, Wuxian. Oh, the nose again. I love that little trait that they given him, like the character.
你看。
Game or not though, they shed each other's blood, which I think is like a very big thematic thing. Like, I think they've entered a new kind of stage in their relationship where they never would have harmed each other before, but now they've shed each other's blood, which I think is really important to show the degradation of their relationship. Brilliant.
是金夫人叫我来的。
And she's such a, the mum is such a conniving, like, not conniving, but such a wingman. I think when she says she misses Lotus Pier, she misses when her dad was alive, when her mum was alive, when Wuxian and Jiangsheng weren't traumatized by what they've been through, the war and all. Like, she misses her childhood more than a play, like actually going back to Lotus Pier, because it's not that far away, you know. Oh! Is that the first time he said his name? Well, I guess when he said, I'll build you another Lotus Pier, he wasn't talking about a place either. He was talking about the idea of building a family. But at least we have one happy couple in this fucking show. Though they probably don't have long to live, but still, they're happy. Oh, 1 month time skip? Okay. Oh, he's the yearling patriarch now. Okay. Now every bad thing is just going to be, oh, like, oh, it must be the yearling patriarch. It's like your neighbor shoots your dog. Oh, it must be the yearling patriarch. Like, you know, like everything is going to be blamed on Wuxian.
太吓人了！他在求作恶呗。嘿嘿嘿，你们呐，只是知其一。
Oh, that's how he got the reputation of being his right-hand man.
夷陵老祖的可怕，无辜悚然。
This guy, I bet you this guy's paid for by the Jin clan.
他挖那些
对，就是这种人啊，就是该杀，对，该杀。
Oh, here we go. Wang Ji might cut them down right here. Nah, I don't think he will. As if they don't know who Wang Ji is. Not them checking him out. Oh, isn't that? No, it's not. Oh, wait, he came to... They left the burial mound, so it is him. What was his name, Yuan?
你说是吧，阿苑？阿苑。
Oh, he's gonna run into Wang Ji. Eh?
哭这么厉害，被他爹骂了吧？一个模子里刻出来的。大伙说，
Eh?
就是吧？
Not Wang Ji being the dad and Wuxian being the mom.
你看哭得这么凶，是不是被他爹给骂了？也不知道把孩子抱起来哄哄，就这么坐地上哭，怎么当爹的？
He's not, that's why.
是第一次当爹吧？我当年呐也是这样，什么都不懂。
Not the other dads giving him advice.
都懂啥？
Not Wang Ji looking at him like he's seen the sun for the first time. And not everyone looking at them like they're a gay couple. Well, they are, but like...
这么巧，你来夷陵干什么？叶丽，这孩子啊，我生的。
It's like when?
但是都是一副苦大仇深的样子。这孩子还小，不懂得分辨美丑。
Why don't you just thinking, wait, did you just call me pretty?
不合。阿苑，
This kid's definitely going to be important in the future.
哎，阿苑，
They're setting up too much with him.
好看。
好看呀、
Wang Ji entering his dad arc? Okay. I thought Wuxian was going to start hugging his thigh as well.
我们一起吃顿饭。
Not a family outing. Oh, is it going to end there? That's actually quite a nice ending. Okay, so that was episodes 27 and 28 of The Untamed. So now we're going to get into the discussion. I've got my notes down on the left, so I'll be looking there every once in a while. So basically, the way I'm going to do this discussion is more structured than how I usually do it, because before I was just like doing notes and then just getting straight into it. So basically, I want to start with kind of just like narrative things, right? And then we'll go into like some hidden like details of like foreshadowing potentially. And then maybe we'll get into some like character analysis notes and some, you know, other kind of dynamics, some themes, and yeah, we'll just get through. I got a lot of notes basically for these episodes. Okay, I think number one thing is where the plot is going right now. I think the central plot right now is the fate of the Wen remnants, right? Like that's the central plot. And I think the development of characters, it's the plot developments, the relationships, the power dynamics, all that stuff is centered around the innocence or guiltiness of the Wen clan remnants. Do they deserve to be killed off and, you know, murdered and stuff? Obviously they do not, because it's just the elderly and children. Like really, that's what it is. So that's, I think, the biggest like moral center point of where you stand kind of dictates the role that you're playing in the world, I guess. And that's really interesting, right? Which obviously leads to Wuxian directly, openly acting in defiance against the entire world of cultivation, right? He is taking a position that seems to be a very like from an outside perspective, from a modern perspective, it's just objectively the right, good choice to make, right? That's the moral position he's taking, but that moral position makes him the world's enemy, right? Which is obviously quite a common thing. Doing the good, right thing often does make you a pariah, and a social outcast. That's just the reality, because it's safer, easier to not take a strong moral position. There's a million real world examples of this. I'm not going to get into it, but yeah. One thing that's really interesting to me, which we'll get more into in later, but Wang Ji takes a stand in this episode of kind of rejecting this message that the main clans are trying to instill in other cultivators and stuff. You know, he marches out, he gets pissed off in the pub, but like there's small things. However, the thing about it is, it's not done in a Wuxian way where it's like, fuck you guys. It's done as in, I've made my stance clear and you do what you will with that. And I think it suits really well with how Wang Ji would make a stand against the behavior of the clans. He wouldn't do it in a Wuxian way where he would like backhands people and it's like, fuck you cunts. Like, I don't have to listen to this. He does it in a very Wang Ji way, which from a character writing perspective, I love that they don't make him go out of character, which was really cool. And obviously the main character moment is the fracture between Jiang Cheng and Wuxian. Like, even though it was technically a game to make the other clans think there's no connection between them anymore, I do think there was a very real fracture in their relationship in that fight. Like, yes, there was no like it was fake, but it wasn't fake at the same time. Like, there was this weird, yeah, we're playing a game, but we're also being very real at the same time. So that was really interesting to me. But yeah, so I think the setup of this whole plot is, it's the simplest setup. The setup really is, Wuxian is a compassionate person, right? Like, that's really what it is. That's really what it stems from, this whole, the setup of this, all these conflicts, right? And the reality of it is his compassion doesn't see lines. Like, for example, whether it's Jiang Cheng or Yan Li or Wang Ji or whoever the fuck else he's close to, it doesn't matter, right? The point is, the point is, he is such a compassionate person that he will, if he has to, cut down his most beloved people in his life if it means protecting the innocent. And I think that scene where they go, the flashback of him and Wang Ji in the, like, when they were still at Cloud Recesses and they were sending off those you know, the flying things where they made their wishes, like, where he says, I hope I never stray from the path of justice. I think that it's underlying that Wuxian is so compassionate, right, that his compassion can make him a brutal, ruthless motherfucker at the same time. You know, like I said, he's willing to make enemies even of his closest allies and friends, you know, his siblings, to not stray from that path, which is really interesting, right? And yeah. And then you have Jiang Cheng, who is only like his priority is to survive, right? That's really, when you think about it, Jiang Cheng's priority is to live like him, but also to make the people around him survive. I think that's the biggest divide I've seen between the two of them, you know, where Wu Xian's priority is, I need to protect people, I need to do the right thing. Jiang Cheng views it as, I need my people to live. I need us to survive this. In whatever way, even if I have to kill innocent people, we need to survive. I think neither's wrong, per se. Like, okay, morally, you could say Jiang Cheng's wrong because he's willing to kill innocent people. But from like an ideological standpoint, as a leader from that position, because right now, whatever way you cut it, Wu Xian is a clan leader. Like, whatever way you cut it. Okay, he officially doesn't have that title, and he doesn't treat the people that he's taking care of in that way, but for all intents and purposes, the role that he's playing is clan leader, right? And so from a leading perspective, I don't think either is wrong, per se. Like, Jiang Cheng's desire for survival versus Wu Xian's desire for justice, neither is wrong. I do think there's just, they clash, that's all it is. Which obviously just seeps into their relationship as well. Another really interesting thing I love about this episode, and last couple episodes really, is despite not showing it, Wang Ji's internal conflict is at an all-time high in these episodes. Like, a couple of scenes stand out to me. Obviously, the scene in the pub, or the bar, whatever you want to call it, the tavern. And then there was a scene where he, you know, storms out of the meeting with all the clan leaders and stuff. And then there's a scene where he's having a conversation with his uncle, and his uncle's like, why do you keep breaking the rules? You're going to be like your father, which we still don't know what that means. But we start to see this break in him where he's like, rules, but also Wu Xian. Rules, but also Wu Xian. And what happens is because he's so splintered between the two of them, and he can't fully, he can't really commit to any of them. What's happening right now with Wang Ji is he's can't fully commit to the rules, so he's breaking rules, and he's not doing that properly. But then he can't fully commit to Wu Xian either, so he is like, technically, he is choosing Wu Xian, but he's also isolating Wu Xian by not fully putting it in, like pulling all his like commitment into Wu Xian either. So I think right now Wang Ji's going through this big character transformation when he needs to learn to fully choose, where do I stand, right? And I have hopes for him, but I don't think he's going to be able to fully make that choice until probably after the flashback is over, because obviously we see everything goes wrong by the time this flashback's over. So I think with the chance of Wu Xian being back, right, as he is in the future and present, whatever, I think that's when he's gonna really start committing to Wu Xian. But we'll see how it all plays out. So one of my favorite things in this episode was the fight between Wu Xian and Jiang Cheng, because the subtle detailing in that was so good. So the shot where it's like a wide shot and Jiang Cheng standing on like one rock formation and Wu Xian standing on another, just from, aside from it being an absolute fucking amazing shot, it was also amazing from the perspective of like the distance between the two of them and the growing distance and the straining of their relationship, and of like just so good. Obviously, there was a similar shot in Yan Li's dream where like Wu Xian's, you know, sailing away. That was also really cool, like foreshadowing to, well, it's not really foreshadowing because the divide had already happened at that point, but you know what I mean. Like the subtle detailing in those scenes, absolutely chef's kiss, right? So let's move on to a bit more character analysis in this episode. Okay, I want to talk about like major characters. 3 major characters I want to talk about. We did do some character analysis, but I want to talk a bit more specifically. So I want to talk about Wu Xian, Wang Ji, and Jiang Cheng. We'll start with Wu Xian, right? Okay, so what I love about Wuxian in these episodes is his conflict, as it were, is between, no, not between, but like, is dealing with the consequences of his compassion. That's what I love about Wuxian, because it's like, in a lot of shows, you will have a character that is compassionate and is heroic, and there's really no price that they pay for that. But I think what makes a good character that's a hero good, really good and interesting, when you want to make a character that's compassionate and heroic interesting, you have to create a price for that goodness, right? And in Wuxian's case, that is probably why his character is so intriguing, is because he is objectively a hero, right? But he pays maximum prices for being good. And I love that, right? So I want to talk about and what makes Wuxian in this episode interesting is like, he's good, but he's not naive in what his goodness is doing. Like, for example, he's not helping the Wens and then being surprised that the clans are turning against him. He's helping the Wens with the knowledge that the main clans are going to demonize him, and he still does it anyway, which makes him being a hero and a good moral person like stand out even more, right? Especially in these episodes. So what is another fascinating thing is, despite what what are they called? The main clans are claiming, Wuxian's like free will and refusal to follow rules. It doesn't come from a place of like, I just want to break the rules for the sake of it. Maybe it used to in the early episodes, but now his defiance comes from a place of morality, right? If he is not defiant, he is being immoral. That's basically where they forced him into. And that's a really interesting position, because Wuxian, even if he wanted to, cannot be obedient. Like, he cannot not be defiant anymore. Because, like I said, him not being defiant at this point is an immoral act, an unjust act, which directly goes against the vow he made, right? And we know that Wuxian has this thing about promises, even to himself. So I think what's fascinating, I talked about this early in the episode, but when when Wuxian is blamed or criticized, or like, oh, are you creating puppets from dead people, like that type of thing, he becomes a bit crueler, a bit like sharper. Not crueler is not the right word, but he becomes sharper. And I think what's interesting is that personality trait, that's the Yearling Patriarch, right? Wuxian and the Yearling Patriarch are two different people to me. Where when he becomes cold and ruthless and resolute in, challenging anyone that is supporting immoral acts, that's when he becomes the terrifying Yearling Patriarch. But then when he's with Wang Ji, or when he's with the kid, that's when he becomes Wuxian, right? So it's like, he's almost split himself, which is really fascinating to me. Okay. Let's talk about Wang Ji. Wang Ji is fascinating to me because he doesn't say anything, but the internal conflict of the rules versus reality and truth and goodness is such a strong conflict in every moment. You can see him, whether he's angry or he's debating things, he's always in this state of what choice is the right choice to make in this situation. I think more than Wuxian, because Wuxian is very much knows where he stands, he doesn't really struggle internally with the choices that he needs to make. Same with like Jiangcheng. Yes, he is trying to convince Wu Xian, but Jiang Cheng knows the choices that he needs to make, right? Wang Ji, I feel like, is always so conflicted by the choices that he needs to make, which makes for such an intriguing character. And like, props to the actor, obviously, for being able to act that, because not any actor can do that and make it convincing, right? Like, him making it clear with limited amount of words, the conflicts that Wang Ji is constantly going through, and it's very clear to the audience. That's a level of acting that is honestly hard to learn. So like, that props to the actor. Jiang Cheng, to me in this episode specifically, he made me think more and more that he's the most tragic character in this show, because he's constantly in this kind of conflict between the safety and security and the survival of his clan, his relationship with his brother, whether he's living up to his father's expectations or his mother's, right? There's so much like conflicting things. Like, what is he going to say to his sister about this divide in his and Wu Xian's relation? Like, there's so many tragic things that I think he's juggling with. Like, his relationship with Wen Qing, it's very clear that he still has feelings for her, by how he couldn't sleep and he had the comb and he took it out from under his pillow and stuff. Like, there's so much struggles he's going through that I understand his less than stellar behavior in the last couple of episodes. Like, honestly, to me, Jiang Cheng is the most tragic figure in this show. And what makes it fascinating is he is so objectively in the wrong, right? He's so in the wrong about everything he does. But what makes him fascinating is you understand there's no other way he can react to situations. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes you have a character doing something so objectively stupid and dumb and behaving in the stupidest ways, but there's no explanation for it. And like, there's always this thing of like, but he could have just did this, right? With Jiang Cheng, it's one of those things where he is so dumb, all right, emotionally, and he doesn't see the reality of who he is, who the people around him are, which makes him only feel like he has only one avenue to go through. And that makes it realistic. And that's what makes him so tragic, because I understand why he says the things he says and does the things he does. Doesn't make him right? No, it doesn't. But I understand him as a character, and it makes me like him more because he's so flawed and interesting. But he is so tragic as well, in my opinion. Because where Wu Xian finds connection in loss, right? Jiang Cheng can only find rage in loss. Like, his parents dying, his relationship with Wu Xian degrading, losing his sister in a way to Zixuan, like all of that loss, as it were, just brings rage from him, and it makes him blinder and blinder to the reality around him, right? Where other people react differently to loss. Like, Wu Xian grows closer to the people that he cares about, and he grows more protective. So it's his character, really, in his nature, that is always causing the tragedy in his life, if you think about it. Like, a lot of what Jiang Cheng suffers from is self-inflicted, and that just makes him more and more interesting, in my opinion. Okay, so what I love about this episode is the big moral dilemmas that they talk about and they bring up, right? First of all, there's two, I think, moral dilemmas and questions that these episodes kind of explore, right? The first is it a righteous good act to protect the innocent if it destabilizes society, right? And the status quo, as it were. The second dilemma is, does your intentions matter if the outcome of those intentions creates instability and fear, right? Because Wu Xian, I think, is like a representation of the individual's morality, right? Where the clans are a representation of the punishments of the masses, the collective punishment, right? So, for example, a perfect example of this would be when you're debating a political issue with an individual person, you can come to some type of reasonable agreement, right? You can come to, you know, I think this should happen this way, but I see where you're coming from, and, you know, we can kind of meet in the middle ground in some way, right? That can happen on a one-on-one conversation. When you have 50 people in a room, right, what happens is people get angrier and angrier and angrier. Why? It's, first of all, there's always a prevailing opinion, right? The second thing is that prevailing opinion gets madder and madder the louder it becomes, and the more people that start, you know, reiterating that opinion. And the third thing is when people speak against that opinion that everyone agrees upon, it feels like an attack on that society of people. So it just becomes a rage-fueled conversation then, right? And it's like if you say something acting out against that thought process, you suddenly are a roadblock to progress, right? So that's kind of what this reminds me of. Wu Xian, if he was having a conversation one-on-one with someone with no anger and just reasonable dialogue, most people are going to agree with him. But what the Jin Clan is using is they are using the collective hatred for their own ends, right? And they know how societies navigate, right? So that was really fascinating to me in these episodes. Like, since the Wen clan have been defeated, like, that's really what they've been exploring. But I think my last thing I want to talk about is, like, there's really a lot more, but I'm going to end it with one last thought that I had on this episode. Is there was a philosophical, I feel like, challenge in these episodes. There was a question that just, like, appeared in my brain. Is justice defined by morality, right? And morality is inherently questionable. What is moral? What is not moral? What is a moral good? What is a moral bad? That's a whole other conversation. I don't want to get too much into it. Is justice defined by morality or by consensus, right? Because especially that conversation in that with the main clans is morality seemed to be defined by what everyone was saying was moral, right? I mean, justice was not morality. Justice was being defined by what everyone else was saying was a moral act. But they were talking about murdering an entire clan of people, innocents, a child, right? So, is it just to kill a child because that's what the consensus of the masses were? I would say no, it is not, right? And I think largely that's the conversation happening. That's the argument happening. It's justice being defined by what society is saying and what the individual is saying. No individual would say, unprompted, killing a child is an act of justice. No one would say that. But get enough people saying that, people will start agreeing with that idea. I think that's what this episode was really exploring. But yeah, this was a really good episode, and there's a lot more to bite into. If I really wanted to, I could have like a 1-hour discussion just on the political and philosophical lens of this. But I'm going to end it there. That was my reaction of episodes 27 and 28. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.